Yet another Star Wars video game has been canceled with Star Wars Hunters, and just a fair warning to you guys, this is going to be a rant video 100% because I cannot seem to wrap my brain around what the hell Disney is doing with the amount of potential that the Star Wars IP has in the video game space, especially with how much the video game industry is growing and growing. Like, the video game industry now, compared to where it was in like the mid 2000s when they were releasing 2 or 3 Star Wars games every year, the amount of money they would make now if they did that, except they did it correctly, is actually unfathomable how much money Disney could make off the Star Wars gaming IP. They just continue to greenlight the dumbest things and then wonder why nothing is working. Star Wars Hunters, to no fault of the game itself, Star Wars Hunters never should have existed. Nobody on this earth asked for a arena hero shooter with a bunch of characters that don't actually exist in Star Wars lore, a bunch of brand new characters that they came up with on mobile devices only. Nobody asked for that. Not one single person said, hey, you know what the Star Wars gaming industry is missing right now? A mobile arena shooter game. Star Wars Hunters was in development for years, bro. Like, this has been a multiple year long development cycle, and it was they were doing like closed play tests, and then they were soft launching it everywhere. It never actually got fully released. It was supposed to come to PC soon, and then they just pulled the plug on it. So the last 3-4 years of development on that game is completely wasted. You got games like Star Wars Outlaws. Like, bro, the concept of an open world Star Wars game, an open world single player Star Wars game, is phenomenal. And they took the concept of an open world Star Wars game and released a bland, boring, cookie cutter Ubisoft game instead of anything remotely compelling, and it failed miserably. Battlefront 2 was on the best course. Battlefront 2, as it sits right now, is the best Star Wars game on the market. At least the best Star Wars multiplayer game on the market. There are still hundreds of thousands of people playing that game every single day, and they pulled the support on it 4 years ago. They pulled the content support away from Battlefront 2 because they weren't able to make any money off of it, because they screwed up the launch of that game so badly that they couldn't even put microtransactions back in the game because of how much they screwed up the microtransactions when the game first came out. So they were just scared to monetize that game any further, and they gave awesome, huge free content updates to Battlefront 2 for a couple of years, and it was the best Star Wars multiplayer gaming experience on the market. They pulled the plug and then said, we're not making another Battlefront game. And instead of making another Battlefront game, which you know that people will like, you know people will enjoy another Battlefront game, under any Star Wars related gaming post on any social media, the comments are all people saying, where is a Star Wars game? You have YouTubers uploading YouTube videos. I'm going to put this thumbnail up here that I saw this on YouTube today. You know, I was just scrolling YouTube looking for something to watch, and I saw a video from a couple months ago with almost 200,000 views about Battlefront 2 and about, the Kyber mod, which is still, it's a PC mod that's like supporting the game still. It's like adding stuff to the game still. 200,000 views in the year 2025 on a Battlefront 2 mod video. Like, it is right in front of their faces. Make Battlefront 3. Why are you making mobile arena hero shooters instead of Battlefront 3? Why are you making crappy open world Ubisoft games instead of Battlefront 3? Why? It makes no sense, and it is the most mind-boggling, frustrating thing in the world. If you make Battlefront 3 and you make it correctly and you don't have stupid, like, predatory microtransactions in the game at launch, like if Star Wars Battlefront 2 didn't have the loot box controversy, that game would probably still be making money to this day. They would probably be filthy rich off this game. Look at Marvel Rivals, man. Imagine Marvel Rivals, the success of Marvel Rivals, except with a Star Wars shooter, bro. Like, it is absolutely crazy how much money they would make off a properly executed Star Wars multiplayer game. Personally, I don't want just a hero shooter like Marvel Rivals is a hero shooter where you just play as like the main heroes. Like, I want a Battlefront 3 where you get to play on these battlefields and these giant large-scale battles. And then I also like the option to play a heroes versus villains mode where you get to play as all these heroes, and it does operate as a hero shooter in that way. Obviously, the heroes versus villains mode in Battlefront 2, while it is fun, it's not fleshed out enough to be a full-blown hero shooter in and of itself. It's more just team deathmatch with, you know, iconic characters. But, like, if they were to release a Battlefront 3 where you have the big conquest mode and you get to play across all 3 eras, and they just, bro, give us a battle pass. I don't even care, man. Release Battlefront 3, throw a battle pass in there as your microtransactions, and let me unlock skins for characters, let me unlock new emotes, let me do what Fortnite does. I don't even care, bro. Who cares? Release the game. You could, like, bro, just imagine a free-to-play Star Wars Battlefront 3 with a battle pass and like an item shop where you can buy skins and you can buy this and this and that, and none of the microtransactions in the game are, you know, have any effect on the gameplay. It's all cosmetic stuff. They'd make so much money, bro. Like, if you did it right, you'd make so much money. Marvel Rivals is raking in the cash right now because they released a free game that was actually good and actually fun, full of iconic characters that people love, and they keep adding new free content, and people are buying skins. I don't know if there's a battle pass, I haven't played it, but people are spending money on that game, and they're making a lot of money because they did it right. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated, EA, or not even EA at this point, just Disney, because EA doesn't even have the exclusive license anymore. Literally anybody out there could make a Battlefront 3 and they won't do it. It just blows my mind. It's free money sitting right in front of you and you won't do it. Like the KOTOR remake, the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is one of the most beloved games ever. Not just most beloved Star Wars games. Like, some people think that's one of the best video games ever made. I haven't played it because it's just super outdated. I'm very shallow when it comes to graphics and things like that. I need my game to look pretty good unless I have some sort of nostalgia tied up into it. Like, I could go play the OG 2005 Battlefront 2. I could do that all day long because I have nostalgia in it. But, like, I didn't grow up playing KOTOR, so it's hard for me to choose to go play that game right now. If they were to re-release that game in modern hardware with modern graphics, I would eat that up. Everyone would play it. And you're releasing a game that's already critically acclaimed, except you're doing it in modern times. Like the Elder Scrolls and Bethesda, they're doing that right now with the Oblivion remake. They're reportedly about to release Oblivion, which is a game from 2006, except they're redoing it in modern graphics it's going to look like a new game, but it's the same game. Like, y'all could be doing that, but the KOTOR remake is like, we haven't heard anything about it. We don't even know if that might be the next Star Wars game that they cancel. They announce a cancellation of it. And I just don't get it, man. It's just right in front of their faces. They just refuse to do anything smart. They refuse to do anything that makes sense. It's dumb. Like, whoever is running the business at Disney is an idiot. How can someone like me sitting in my apartment be better at running a business, have better business ideas and business practices than people making, who knows how much these people are making at Disney and Lucasfilm and EA and all these companies, to make the terrible decision over and over and over again? How much money are y'all making, man, to be stupid? It blows my mind. The Star Wars gaming space is ripe with potential. You could do anything you wanted. You could do a full-blown single-player RPG, open-world RPG. Look at Starfield. Bethesda made Starfield, and you can say what you want about that game, whether it's good or not. I definitely don't love it a bunch, but imagine if a Starfield-type game was released for Star Wars. That game is makeable. You can make that game. You can make a game where you can customize your ship, customize your crew, customize your play style. Imagine a game like Starfield with the Star Wars licensing. Imagine that, bro. Imagine you can be a bounty hunter, or you can choose to be a Jedi, or you can choose to be a Sith. And you can go around the galaxy doing what you want, and the world will react to it. And there's story beats and good side quests and good, choice and consequence. That is doable. Other people are doing it with other properties. Baldur's Gate 3, The Witcher, Cyberpunk. Like, those types of games, imagine that in Star Wars. Why aren't you doing that? That would make so much money if it was done well. It doesn't make any logical sense why that's not being made. When the Ubisoft open world game, which ended up being Star Wars Outlaws, when that first got announced, I didn't even like Ubisoft at the time, but I was excited at the idea of an open world single player Star Wars game because for some reason we haven't gotten one of those ever. Like, am I missing something? I don't think there's ever been an open world Star Wars single player game. Like KOTOR, I don't know if KOTOR is technically classified as open world, but I'm talking in the sense of you make your character and then you can go wherever you want, travel wherever you want. You know, that's never been a thing. So when the Ubisoft game got announced, I was like, oh my God, we're eventually going to get an open world Star Wars game. I'm so excited. And it sucks. It stinks, bro. Like, how do you mess that up? How do you mess that up? At least we got Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor. Survivor is one of my favorite games ever. And look what you did. And it's not even an open world RPG, but it's a single player Star Wars game where there's with customization options and a good story. Remake The Force Unleashed for all I care, bro. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. And we've got this like bit reactor strategy game that people are, behind the scenes, they're like, oh, this game's going to be really good. Well, trust me, we got something with this and we don't know anything about it yet, but it's like a strategy game, bro. Like that's cool. But like, this is Star Wars we're talking about. This is the most well-known, recognizable, the most profitable entertainment franchise ever. And this is the best we can do? They spent the last 3 years wasting development resources and wasting money on Star Wars Hunters, an arena shooter mobile game with no recurring characters, all brand new characters that nobody knows. Why? Who thought that was a good idea? That was destined to fail from the beginning. A mobile game? You're going to cancel Battlefront. You're going to cancel the support on Battlefront 2. You're going to say, nah, we're not making a Battlefront 3. But to scratch your Star Wars multiplayer itch, we're going to give you a mobile arena shooter with all new characters that you've never heard of before. What are y'all doing, bro? Like, I could rant about this forever. I'm just... Battlefront 2, bro, is still... That game hasn't received a content update in, what, 4 years? Like, that game came out in 2017. 2017 was the last time we got a Star Wars multiplayer game that was worth a shit. Look at how many people are still playing that. Look at how many views Battlefront-related videos get on YouTube. You got a video about a Battlefront 2 mod getting 200,000 views. It's right in front of you. Just use your brain. Like, I don't know. This has literally been almost 15 minutes of just straight up ranting. But I cannot wrap my brain around what they are doing. This is how many games have been canceled. They've canceled more Star Wars games than they've released in the last decade. Why? Battlefront 2015, the reboot of the Battlefront franchise, all the way back in 2015. That was 10 years ago. That's the same amount of time that passed between the 2005 Battlefront 2 and the 2015 reboot, which is crazy to think about. Like, seriously, the 2005 Battlefront 2, back in 2005, the one that I grew up on, the one that, millions of people have all this nostalgia tied to, there was only a 10-year gap between that game coming out and Battlefront 2015 by EA and DICE. 10 years. It's already been 10 years since that game came out. Right now in 2025. It's been 10 years. That's crazy. Why are y'all not doing this, bro? It's not even that we know they're not doing it. It's like we have literally not heard anything. There's been no leaks. There's been no nothing. There's been no nothing, dude. And what makes it worse is it's like DICE, the developers behind Battlefront 2 and Battlefront 2015, they pitched a Battlefront 3 to EA, and EA said no because they're scared of losing money on it because of how badly they screwed up Battlefront 2's launch. But the numbers, the analytics are right in front of you, dude. Like, look how many people are still playing Battlefront 2. Look how many people are begging for a new Battlefront game on the internet every single day. Look how many views Battlefront videos are getting on YouTube. Look at all of these failures of games that you've had. And you're trying to tell me that a Battlefront 3 is not a good idea? Resurrecting the Battlefront franchise is not a good idea? You're trying to tell me that making an open world single player Star Wars RPG, even if it was on equal level to Starfield, which again, I didn't even love that game. I liked it, I didn't love it. If you gave me the exact game that Starfield was, if that was a Star Wars game, I would have liked it infinitely more. It would have been, one of my dream games is an open world Star Wars RPG like that, where you can be whatever you want in the Star Wars universe. You can customize your ship, you can customize your crew. If you want to be a bounty hunter using a blaster and a jetpack, go for it. You want to go find some Mandalorian armor so you can be a good-looking Mandalorian bounty hunter, go for it. Oh, you want to be a Jedi? You want to go to Coruscant and train in the Jedi Temple, and you want to go make your lightsaber and find your kyber crystal and train with a master? Go do that. Oh, you want to be a Sith and you want to go attack the Jedi Temple and whatever? Do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why aren't you doing it? Like, I don't know. I can't fathom it. Look at what Star Wars Outlaws was. Look at the idea they had for that game. There were some cool premises in there, like the whole crime syndicate thing, and that was a cool idea. But that's one cool idea among a game that was otherwise just bland and uninspired. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. That would be a cool idea in this dream game in my head of like, oh, you want to go join the Pike Crime Syndicate? Go do it. You want to go join the Crimson... I want to say Crimson... It's not Crimson Dawn, is it? Because Crimson Dawn is in Elder Scrolls. I don't know. Whatever. The Crimson whatever in Star Wars. Maybe it is the Crimson Dawn. Go do that. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking of the Mythic Dawn in Elder Scrolls. It is the Crimson Dawn. I get confused. And then in Starfield, there's the Crimson Fleet. So, I don't know. It all gets jumbled up in my brain. But anyway, I've ranted for enough time about this topic. I truly cannot fathom why certain things are going on. Why they wasted all this time on a Star Wars mobile arena shooter and just to cancel the game. Why not just release it? Like, at this point, after all this time, why not just release the game in the state it's in? Why not? The fact that they went into that project knowing that they weren't going to put it on consoles, what did you expect? What was the expectation here? No one over the age of 10 wants to play a game on their phone, bro. Like, no real video game player is like, oh my god, a Star Wars shooter on my phone? Because it's just so much less accessible. Like, I want to play on a controller or a mouse and keyboard. I don't want to play on my phone screen. No actual person who enjoys playing video games plays on their phone. And if you do, that's great for you. But the majority of people don't do that. This was a game directed at little kids, bro. People are tired of that stuff, man. Release Battlefront 3. Battlefront 3 done properly, executed properly, would rake in unlimited money. Unlimited money. And they won't do it. And instead they want to do this. They want to waste time and resources on a game that was doomed to fail from the start and then cancel it. And then all these people are like, oh wow, what, like I was finally going to get a Star Wars shooter and now it's gone. Like, people had it, like, accepted. Okay, well, this is the best I can do. This is the best we're going to get. So, whatever. I'll do it. And they still canceled it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just can't believe it. And then you got, like, Star Wars Eclipse, which we saw a trailer for that, 2 years ago? Something like that. Not a peep since. Not even a fraction, not even a whisper about that game. The premise of it sounds really cool. Nothing. We haven't seen anything or heard anything about it. The KOTOR remake, we have no idea if that's even still happening. No clue. Not a word. Not only are they making stuff that nobody wants, not only are they canceling games left and right, but they're also not communicating anything to the fans, bro. Like, nothing. I mean, Disney and the Star Wars IP in general is in the shitter right now. And it's not even funny how awful the Star Wars IP has been treated over the last decade. It is not even funny how much they've screwed up everything Star Wars related. You've had one or two cool things here and there, like the Andor show or like Rogue One. But like, you know, you caught lightning in a bottle with Mandalorian season 1, and then you threw that show off the cliff. Book of Boba was mid. Kenobi had some cool moments, but overall pretty disappointing. A lot of really stupid stuff in that show. Like, it's not just the gaming side of the Star Wars IP right now. It's everything. Everything sucks. And I don't get it because it is so easy. It is so easy to make the right decisions. It is so easy to make the right stuff. Fans are quite literally telling you what they want. And instead you're like, we're going to do this instead. And you're surprised when it fails. You're surprised when you actively go out of your way not to do what the fans are asking for. Begging for. Not even just asking for, begging for. And you just want to do something else because you think you know better. And it's affecting them so bad. They're not making any money. No one cares anymore. People have become apathetic to the Star Wars name. And that's disgusting. That's so sad to think about. Star Wars is just so important to so many people. It is so nostalgic to so many people. And you just keep screwing everything up. I will never understand what is going through these executives' minds. What meetings are y'all having? You're sitting in the meeting room discussing the next steps to take, and you're taking the wrong step. You're making the wrong choice every single time. I just don't get it. So, I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess that's enough ranting. I just can't believe what's going on, bro. It is so blatantly obvious what people want. It is so obvious what will be successful, and they refuse to do it. And they're scrambling, trying to figure out, how do we fix this? How do we make money off Star Wars again? How do we make Star Wars profitable again? Do you know how bad you have to screw up to make Star Wars not profitable? You know how bad you have to mess up? You know how much you have to screw up royally, repeatedly, over and over again to make the Star Wars brand not profitable? It is absolutely incredible how much damage you have to do to make that the reality. And they've done it. And they're trying to figure out how to fix it, and no one is telling them how obvious this shit is, bro. No one is telling them how blatantly obvious it is on what you should do. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's I guess I could literally sit here for 45 minutes straight ranting just like this. Cuz this is what we've been watching happen to the Star Wars franchise for a decade now. When EA had that exclusive license for 10 years, they were screwing everything up too. So, I don't know. I guess that's it. That's enough of my ranting. Blows my mind, dude. Really does. But anyway, maybe they'll get their heads out of their asses sometime in the near future. Because literally all you'd have to do is announce a Battlefront 3, release the KOTOR remake, and announce a Star Wars open world RPG made by, I don't know. Dude, pay CD Projekt Red a shit ton of money to make a Star Wars RPG. I'm begging you. I would say Bethesda, but Bethesda's gone down a hill lately, and also I need them to finish Elder Scrolls 6. That's a whole other franchise that that's being thrown down the toilet. Okay, I'm clearly upset. I've just been prolonging this. I'm pretty sure I said I was going to be done talking like a good, 8 minutes ago, and I've just continued. So my frustration is through the roof with Star Wars, with Disney, and with these idiots making these decisions, quite frankly. So, yeah. Leave a like if you liked. Comment if you want to share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you want more the occasional Star Wars video. Hopefully we have something positive to talk about sometime soon, which, probably won't. But anyway, yeah, y'all have a good one.